Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on the Waitlist. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. What's up, guys?
Oh,
hey.
All right. So we have a topic for this waitlist, which it's Kirsten. Is it Henshaw?
Yeah,
I think I got that right.
I think you got it right. Yeah,
I hope I got that right. And oh shoot, I just lost the tab.
Should we just let's just quickly say right now. So for those of you that listen to us all the time, a Waitlist is just a small topic based episode that we like to do. Every once in a while, when we're either out of, at the parks or when we can't do the podcast, or in this case, it's because of the holidays. We're taking a break. So this is a topic-based episode, and we always like to take topics from our listeners. So we'll go through this little topic here today, and, hope you all have happy holidays while we take a break here. So,
okay. Yeah. So, the question that we decided to explore on this waitlist is, so Kristen Henshaw says, if you could design a DVC resort that was pet friendly and she says it doesn't need to be at Disney or at Disney World, where would it be and how would you theme it for Fido and Whiskers? I'm guessing for dogs and cats.
Wait, so pet friendly, like we're bringing them with us, right? Like first of all, if it's not a Disney, it doesn't count. That's the way I feel. Well, and I guess it could be.
No, I think it needs to be at Disney for this example, right?
You can do like a Hilton Head type resort.
You could, but I think it needs to be. I think the whole point is people want to travel to Disney with their pets. I don't know. Let's keep it at Disney.
Do.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's keep it at Disney. So I thought about this and I kind of had this vision in my head of like All-Star, but like, for dogs, right? So the one thing that I think I really kind of wanted in this resort was an enclosed patio that you couldn't see, like, kind of like a balcony patio, right? That is super tall, obviously, right? Because you can't have dogs climbing out. But I say maybe it's a one level place. So, right, that makes it a little bit easier. So, because I was like, even though they couldn't climb out, do I really want them on a balcony? No. Okay. So my resort is single level, right? One floor. That's it. Outside of each one of the places, there's, an 8 to 10 foot fake cartoony fence that you can let your dog out the slider, and it's kind of on that, turf that has the drainage underneath it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that way it can be Clorox down after each one. And, I'm saying that each room kind of has that. Man, the toughest part about this is the barking, though. I don't know how you get around that.
Soundproofing, I guess.
There's no such thing. Like, it's funny. We soundproofed a room in our house. Like, it's not soundproof, right? Like, cause it's, you can get it so it's quieter, but soundproofing is like darn near impossible to do, especially, at a place like that. So I don't know if it's soundproof. I mean, does everyone just kind of live with that? Like, I guess I got to stick it far away from all the other resorts too, cause sound travels, right? It's not really hilly in Florida either. So do I have to put this in a valley? I feel like it's like a Valley of the Dinosaurs sort of place, right? So it's in some, what was that one where they go down the river?
Land Before Time.
Land of the Lost, right? So giving us a little Land of the Lost, you get to like this area that you drive through that kind of brings you down into this like, I don't know, valley of dogs and cats. And I'm going to say that you're going to have two valleys, one for dogs, one for cats, right? And then maybe one for other animals. I don't know, but it's in this valley. So you can't hear the barking out of it. Maybe it's got a dome on it. I'm not sure yet. That would be kind of cool. But each room, like I said, has this little patio for the dog. And obviously it has some sort of pet type store in it as well.
So,
okay. Good.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. I guess, let's talk about a couple, or let's go back to the barking and how to mitigate that. So my initial thought was, more spacing between the rooms. So instead of having like you would a normal resort where everyone is just like stacked next to one another, maybe there's like a 5 to 10 foot gap between each room. Like, they can do like hedges or something like that so that the dogs are not, like I know what you're saying is, the point is that, some dogs, when they see other dogs, they feel the need to bark or whatever. And so, you want to have that privacy where you can let your dog out in that back area. They can do their business. And then, it's not distracting, right? Or you're not having to go out there and chase them because they're yelling at the neighbor's dog, like my dog loves to do so much. So that would be my thought. Or maybe even, so we said this was a DVC resort. Could it not be,
did we say it was a DVC resort?
She said, so Kirsten said.
She said design a DVC resort.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So could it not just be like cabins all the way around? Like how they do cabins at some of the other resorts. Everybody gets their own cabin so that you all do have your own private area.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have just an individual, like, because that kind of mitigates. I mean, you'll still hear some barking, right? Like, you're still going to hear some barking, especially from like when the dogs are outside. But yeah, it's not going to be as bad. I agree with you. That's a good idea.
So
I'm also go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, I was thinking a lot about this, about like, kind of some of the things you'd have to have there in my mind is like amenities wise,
Yeah.
And obviously I think the resort would have to have like its own like doggy daycare kind of situation where you could like,
could they come to the room though?
That's what I'm saying. They come to the room and they walk your dog over to doggy daycare and the dog stays at daycare all day. So you don't have to worry about it in your room. You know what I mean?
So each room, so how about this? Each room comes with that as part of the price. They check on your dog. Yeah, it's part
of the price. Yeah, it's included. Yeah.
Dude, these people are going to be taking, it's going to be tough. Like, these people are going to be taking their life into their hands with some of these dogs, I feel like.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but like the place I board my dog every once in a while, they like, if there's aggressive dogs, they don't let you have an aggressive dog there, right? Like they will kick you out for an aggressive dog. So like, and they actually ask questions beforehand of, is your dog aggressive and all this stuff. So I know they don't allow that, but I mean, I'm assuming Disney would do something similar, but
yeah. I feel like I know. Yeah. They have to have a certain contract and you have to be expected to follow certain rules with your dog. It's not just like my dog's here and, free reign and all that. Right.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to have my dog in the room all day. Like I'd want them to be, want him to be at the daycare and running around and interacting with other dogs and doing his thing. And I think if we're going to include this, like maybe it's an optional service that they come and pick your dog up in the morning. Like they come to your room at a certain specified time, they pick your dog up and they bring it over to the daycare, or bringing it back as well. I think that could be either part of the service or an additional service fee.
Well, and to that same end, so like, again, I was also thinking about how amenities would work for this. And so normally, like going back to what Damon was saying about like an all-stars type resort, again, let's not, or, the cabins can still happen, but, thinking about how like you have those big courtyards in like the all-stars where, a lot of it's just filled with like statues and plants statues, and stuff like that, have something like that, but have some off leash areas for the dogs, which again, I know that implies a whole bunch of, the dogs have to not be aggressive and everything. But again, assuming all that, just like we have off leash areas in our city where, you can go and your dog can mingle with all the other neighborhood dogs that go there.
Like a mini dog park, like a small dog park. Yeah.
Yeah. So something like that, I think would make sense. And then the part that I was struggling with, and I guess maybe we might all have a problem with this is, we're obviously all thinking about dogs because I think we all have dogs, but I don't know enough about what cats or what would make sense for cats because, cats they're a lot more independent sometimes, and they can climb around a lot better than dogs. So you can't exactly put them in like an outdoor area and just let them go, right?
Well, so I mean, I don't have a cat, but my in-laws do, and I know that they could leave their cat by itself basically with like an automatic feeder and water thing for like days. Like, cause the cat just kind of does its own thing. It doesn't need, it's not as high maintenance as the dog is, Like, the cat can just kind of hang in the room all day and sleep and hide or whatever. But I think you'd have to have some amenities. So like, I think you got to have specific cat and specific dog rooms, because I don't want to stay in a cat room because I'm allergic to cats. So like, I don't want to go and stay in a cat room where I'm going to get like have an allergic reaction if it's not cleaned properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you'd have to have like different wings of the hotel. One is a cat side that's themed to the famous cats of
Figaro.
of Disney. Yeah.
Let's go with Figaro and Pluto.
What about Cheshire Cat? What about that?
Figaro is a little more iconic than Cheshire.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Pinocchio, he's been hanging around with Mickey. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong.
Minnie's cat, really, in the more recent.
Yeah. Stuff. I mean, could you throw like the Lion King in there? I mean, it's kind of a cat. Like, lion's kind of a cat.
The Simba section for larger animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe so. I guess then the thinking is the trade-off is like in the dog area, how we were talking, you have like that outdoor run area where you can let your dogs out without having to worry about them running away. Maybe on the cat side, like you said, if the rooms are designed as such, they have like the, I always see those cat, what are those things called?
Cat cafes?
Where like the cats are always climbing inside of, and they're made of carpet.
Oh yeah.
Like scratching posts
scratching posts and yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think you'd have to have those like in the room.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that so? The trade off is that if you go to the dog side, you get things to the room that are more specific to the dog. If you go to the cat side, you get cat specific things in the room.
See, I feel like the cat side is probably like cheaper than the dog side.
I don't know.
The dogs are way more high maintenance. You're not going to put the cat in cat daycare. Like I don't think that's a thing. Maybe it is, and I don't know about it, but
it might require more upkeep on the cat rooms though, because cats can destroy walls and stuff too when they're bored.
That's true.
So,
that is true.
Well, so can dogs, I guess. I've seen them both do it, but I've seen cats like rip up the side of a wall before and leave a whole bunch of holes in it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to have quite a bit of maintenance in the rooms here because, like, dogs, there are destructive dogs, there's destructive cats, like, that would be kind of rough.
No pun intended.
We're doing dad jokes now, Trevor?
Of course we are. Aren't we always?
Always doing dad jokes, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I also feel like this place needs to have, like, a dog spa. That's, like, a big thing, too, right?
Oh,
you got to have like, you have to have like a whole dog spa there, right? So like you get your dog groomed and bathed, and they have all sorts of ridiculous things that you could do for dogs. The whole concept of a dog spa is kind of ridiculous to me, but at the same time, a lot of people spend a lot of money on these types of things. So
yeah, get the blow drying and the nails done and all that.
Yeah. What about good?
What if they offer, because you know how they offer like spa packages, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you get, so like you go to the human spa and your dog goes to the dog spa, and then you both come back and, have a spa day.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. So like you have a spa that's both for humans and for dogs, and you have the spa day together. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that.
That seems like a great idea, but maybe in practice not a good idea. I don't know.
Hey, this is all on paper. We're allowed to say it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And so like the dog side of it, what did we say the dog side was going to theme? It's just Pluto. I mean, what about like
okay, Well, sorry, Pluto is the obvious Disney dog, I guess. Who else would you use for theming in terms of Disney dogs?
That's a tough question. What's the dog's name from
101 Dalmatians? Though? Just
do
the Dalmatians.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, Pluto's a dog, right? So you could do Pluto.
I already said Pluto, or do you mean Goofy?
I mean, not Pluto, Goofy.
Yeah.
Goofy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was pulling up a list of all the famous Disney dogs.
That could be weird if it was Goofy.
I mean, but he's a dog, though. But like Damon said, you could also do the dog from 101 Dalmatians, which I don't remember his name.
Well, I mean, all the dogs from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You could do that dog from Pocahontas, right? I don't remember what his name is.
That's the point. If you don't even remember his name, it's okay. I guess.
What about Tramp from Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tramp, Nana from Peter Pan, Doug from Up, obviously.
Oh yeah, Doug. Okay, so I think Doug from Up has to be in there.
Yeah,
because he gets represented in the parks too. So I feel like
totally.
He has to be. Yeah. That's a good one. So we just go maybe Pluto and Doug. Then I feel bad for Goofy for being left out of this as a dog.
It's his fault for walking on two legs.
There are some people that still think he's a cow for some reason. Like that's a thing that pops up in the Disney groups like all the time, and I'm like, no, he's not a cow. Stop.
I feel like people could confuse him with horse collar, but yeah.
I also think, by the way, go ahead. What was that?
Sorry, I'm going back to what. So we got Disney dogs and then Disney cats. I mean, I wouldn't use Cheshire Cat necessarily. Like I feel like the Aristocats and Figaro.
Yeah, makes
more sense.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Here we go. Mochi from Big Hero 6. Totally obscure, but
that's really obscure. That is really obscure.
I like Mochi.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm also thinking though this place has to have like any restaurant it has to be like a place you can take your dog, right?
Ooh,
like it has to be.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Like so you can have a sit down, but then you can also order food for the dog or like Starbucks you can get like the pup cup or whatever it is, right? So
yeah, any restaurant there has to have like special treats for your dog, but also, food for you, and you can bring your dog. Obviously, it's dog friendly, and then they could even do like I know my sister does this with her dog. They have yappy hours, that are like happy hours with dogs. So that's a thing they could do there. Those are the kind of events they could have,
So I guess would it be like a quick service type thing that would make more sense, or would it be a sit down?
I think you could have both, right?
Yeah. Okay. I guess if it's a big enough resort, you can probably do both.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what other features we have to have at this resort, this imaginary resort that we
some sort of water play pad.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I feel like we need a water play pad,
like a mini dog water park.
Yeah, something like that.
Something that'll stand up to dogs, like those kids' water parks. Those would get destroyed by dogs. So,
yeah, I feel like you definitely can't allow the dogs into the regular pool, right? Like they have the pool for the people, and then you would not allow your dog into that pool. Like the dog can go into the other pool.
Yeah,
that's what I would think. Yeah, that's good. What about like one of those like dog agility courses things that they have? Have you seen those where they jump?
That could be like an upcharge.
Yeah, an upcharge. Yeah,
I like that.
You teach your dog to do it.
Oh, maybe they could actually offer
dog training.
Training for the dogs.
Like
so, okay, yeah.
But then again, if you're having dog training, how good is your dog? And then do we want those dogs there?
That's a fair point. What if they had a version of like the Bippity Boppity Boutique for the dogs, where they make your dog up like a prince or a princess? People would do that. I swear to you, they would.
I feel like that would be an upcharge at the spa.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be totally an upcharge at the spa. Yeah, it just should be an option. That's all I'm saying is it needs to be an option.
Option for the Prince Charming package on your dog.
Yeah. What about a vet on site? Should there be a vet on site just in case something happens?
I would hope so. I mean, yeah. There has to be vets available because accidents do happen. Even when your dog is good most of the time, right?
Yeah. That doggy daycare though, if you're gonna have the doggy daycare in there, it's gonna have to be open pretty late because a lot of the doggy daycares here, like they're done by like 6 o'clock. Like I feel like you got to get a full day.
It would have to line up with park open and park close, I would think.
Right? Yeah, it would.
Or something close to it because if you're at Disney, the idea is you're there with your pet but then you're also, you're not spending all the time with your pet. You know, you want to go off and do stuff at the parks, but if you're having to cut it short because daycare is closing, that's not a good experience.
Yeah, I agree. That would kind of stink if it'd be like, oh, we got to get back to our resort by 6:00. Or maybe they, do a thing like they used to do with the luggage where if you're not there, they just go into your room and drop it off. They just go drop your dog off in your room.
Yeah. I mean, that would work in some cases. I feel like some dogs wouldn't be okay with just being dropped in a room where they're unfamiliar.
Yeah, that's fair.
And again, that comes back to, maintenance at this place would probably be higher than most.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Now, do we allow any other pets at this resort? Is it just dogs and cats?
I was thinking about that because, so again, you could, like, people could bring, birds, reptiles. I mean, I don't know what else, but then it comes into a whole thing of, what happens when said animal gets loose.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it's hard enough trying to corral dogs and cats. I can't imagine, like if a bird gets loose, that's going to be a nightmare.
I feel like this whole park has to be, this whole hotel has to be like Jurassic Park, basically, where there's like just there's a perimeter fence around the entire thing. So even if your dog gets loose, it can't get really loose. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. You just have the whole thing fenced in all the way around. And then that way, and to Damon's point, for the barking piece, maybe you do like the old Disney berm, and you make a nice berm so it's the whole hotel is kind of off from everything else. So not only do you have the fence so your dog can't escape, but you also have the berm, which would make it difficult too. Now I'm just imagining giant Jurassic Park gates when you pull your car in. Yeah, I don't know why.
All I can think of is those like 10,000 volt electric fences, and I'm like, that's
that's a little excessive. Yeah,
that's not right. Excessive. I mean, I know they can spare no expense, but yeah.
Trying to think of what other cool things you could have for your dog there. I think I've exhausted all of my creativity in this area.
I mean, honestly, we got farther than I thought we would. Like, I didn't even think about the training and agility courses or spas or anything like that. So yeah.
I just don't think this is feasible.
No, it's not.
Unfortunately.
No, not at all.
I mean, it sounds awesome, but it just, there's a lot of legalities that would just not happen here.
I guess the question is though, if it was in existence, would you bring your dog with you? Because my answer is still no. I don't like
no.
Yeah, because I like
my dog going to my vet to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like bringing my dog with me. And my dog hates the car. He has like a panic attack for 8 hours in the car. And I don't want to deal with that, to be totally honest.
And so for me, it's not even feasible because traveling internationally with the dog, it's a ton of work to get the paperwork so that I could travel across the border with my dog. So I would rather leave him with a family member because then I know he's taken care of and I can enjoy my vacation.
What were we going to say, Damon?
No, I was just going to say, I think that's a wrap up for this one, but now I'm kind of like, what else can we talk about?
I mean, there was another question that we got that was kind of interesting that I can pop up real quick if you want.
What was it?
I don't know. Hold on a sec. Let me pull it up here, and we can go through.
Was it interesting or was it not really interesting? Should we just sing? Should we sing Christmas Carol?
Hold on a sec. I got this.
I think I've said it before that I don't sing, and you don't want me to sing.
Yeah, you don't want me to sing either until I start getting some of the eggnog in.
So while Tom's looking that up, what's your favorite holiday show, Trevor?
Oh, we should talk about that. I like that.
Yeah. My favorite holiday show?
Yeah, and has it changed as you've watched it a million times? I'm going to tell you, Santa's just a big old jerk in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and every time I watch it, it just makes me mad.
Yeah, that's fair. As you get older, it definitely changes.
He's just a jerk.
I guess ones that
everybody's kind of a jerk
watch,
in that. Sorry, Trevor.
Yeah, ones that I always watch are A Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I have seen now. You know what I watched? There's Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, which is by Rankin Bass. It's so bad, but it's so cool in what it explains in the beginning. why Rudolph has a red nose, like where all that came from. I like that. I like The Year Without Santa Claus, super good. I just was actually, before we got on this, and I was watching, Jack Frost. Super good. Drummer Boy, also another good one. But you know which one is really neat? It's the one where the shepherd goes blind. What is that one called? Christmas Snow? Have you ever seen that one? It's another Rankin Bass.
It sounds familiar.
Oh, it's so good. That one's so good. That's one, if you haven't seen in a while, is definitely worth watching. And then when it comes to new ones, I watched The Legend of Frosty. Absolutely horrid. I don't even know what to say about it. It was so bad. Yes, Virginia is high on my list in terms of new, sort of animated ones. And then I actually like the Miser Brothers ones for whatever reason.
I haven't seen any of these things that you're talking about.
The new Miser Brothers one, it's, Heat Miser, Snow Miser, but it's based in that same sort of Rankin Bass style, but CGI'd probably of that style, but it looks really cool. And it's a really fun one. I like that one as well. I watched a few things on Netflix recently too that weren't bad. It's something about a Christmas boy. Is that possible? Which I actually kind of enjoyed, even though it was a little bit.
Wasn't it A Boy Named Christmas?
Boy Named Christmas. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good as well. But I say Yes, Virginia, again, one of my favorites if you haven't seen that before. That is a really, really good one, I think. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think my go-to during Christmas, well, it's kind of a tradition that my sister and I watch the Santa Claus. It's just something we've always watched. And then I also like a couple trashy movies, like Jingle All the Way. Just a terrible movie that's entertaining.
I mean, that's good. It's fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. It's, it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Phil Hartman's in it, Sinbad's in it. There's good people in it.
The same reason I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is that it's all very tongue-in-cheek and some of it, it has that Christmas spirit, but it also, highlights all the funny and not necessarily so funny stuff that happens around Christmas or, at the time it seems awful, but afterwards you laugh about it.
No, I mean, that one's on my list too. That one's always up there, right? So I always watch that one. I watch Jingle All the Way. Like I said, Santa Claus, that's on there. We do like to watch Reindeer. I do like Frosty a lot too. Frosty was always one when I was a kid that I always liked. I also like Elf too. No one mentioned Elf. I always enjoy Elf. Elf's always up there for me.
Oh, actually, I have one on my list. I haven't watched it yet, but we were planning to sit down and watch it the next couple of days. Is 8-Bit Christmas? Because
oh, really?
So bad.
Is it bad?
I heard it was bad.
Oh,
but
I walked out. My wife and daughter finished watching it, and they were like, "Oh, it wasn't so bad." It was terrible.
I'm not expecting anything amazing, but the big draw for me is that I grew up in that whole Nintendo craze. So
yeah, me too. It's terrible, dude.
Okay.
It's not good. Right. It's about this. It's about this bully, like, pretty much. I didn't care for it too much. And there wasn't enough Nintendo to make me be like, oh, snap. That's like pretty neat. Like, I haven't seen that in a while. No.
I guess maybe what drew me to it is I was getting the same vibes that I got from The Wizard. Yeah.
You keep getting those vibes. They're not the same vibes.
Okay. Fair enough. No,
you keep getting those vibes. That's great. So I mean, any other holiday movies that you guys did? What specific holiday music do you like? I mean, do you hate holiday music?
No, I like holiday music. Actually, I rock with, let's knock out a Spotify request. Hey, review us on Spotify while I go to Spotify, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, review us on Spotify. I listen to the Christmas classics playlist on Spotify. I'm all about the classics.
Okay.
I have a funny story. So when I was in high school, senior year, architecture, right? So we're designing houses, and I had gotten into college already. I'm kind of just like, with school. And our teacher always used to listen to country music, and he would play it on the radio, and he thought he'd be funny one day, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer comes on, and he's like, if anyone can tell me who wrote that, I'll give you an A for the marking period. I said, Gene Autry. And this is, obviously I'm old, right? So this is way before internet or phones or anything like that, right? So you're talking 91. And, It was. And I was solidly getting like a C- at that point because I had just kind of been mailing it in and ended up with an A-. I have to respect the fact that he was willing to go out on a limb, and because I answered that. So I'm a classic sort of person, Vince Guaraldi, you know what I mean? Like that sort of stuff, like Peanut stuff is always a big win for me, but it's always classic stuff. I don't need Mariah Carey. I hate to say I don't need any of that stuff. I just want the old school stuff.
I have a weird one, and I don't know if this is a regional thing or not, but
Dominic the Donkey?
Dominic the Donkey.
How did I just know?
I knew you would know it. Dominic the Donkey.
We did not talk about this beforehand, everyone.
Oh, no.
We did not. Because this is, I think this is like a very much a New Jersey, New York thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone else tell me if it's not. But I remember we would always, every Christmas Eve, we would always drive to my uncle's house, and there was a big Christmas Eve party, and then we would drive home and we'd listen to the radio, and they'd always play Dominic the Donkey. Now, it's a super old, I mean, it's an old song. It's from 1960. It's an older song, and Trevor, you're going to have to look into Dominic the Donkey, because I think it's a great song. Honestly.
I'm scared now, but.
No, it's great. It's seriously, it's a great song. It's a traditional kind of Christmas song. It's just called Dominic the Donkey. So, it's one of those ones that just always stuck in my head, and I would love to hear from the listeners if anybody else knows the song. But I knew Damon would know it. I had just had a feeling Damon would know Dominic the Donkey.
This sounds something. Okay, I hope you know what Six White Boomers is.
No, what is that? I don't know.
It's an Australian Christmas song, but
no, I have not.
Santa's sleigh is pulled by six white kangaroos. I think is what it's
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
really
yeah.
Okay. So that one to me, it's an Australian one, but it's been on the radio enough that I figured it was kind of well enough known, but maybe not.
I don't think I've ever heard that one on the radio. I don't know. I feel like I want to ask like our Discord as we're talking about this. Has anybody ever heard of Dominic the Donkey? Because that's just and yours too. But it's Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey. I should note.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, man, it's that one is a random one. I just don't know if everybody knows it, but you know. Yeah, that's probably the one that always screams Christmas to me. But then, you know, we like to play like the traditional ones in our house too. Like we're not just like only listening to that. Obviously, we'll listen to the more traditional ones. And for the Hanukkah side of things, there's not a whole lot of Hanukkah songs you can really listen to. So there's a couple here and there, but you know, those are really. I don't think I have a favorite one, but I don't know if you guys saw. I shared in the Discord somebody had mashed up the Imperial March with Carol of the Bells, and it works really well. It works really well. Like you should watch that video. It's actually kind of great. Kind of makes it really epic. Actually, I've just scrolled to it and it says epic version. So I guess I'm stealing it from that. But
it sounds like they got it right. If
they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the picture is of Darth Vader with a Santa hat and a candy cane lightsaber. So, you know, that just makes it great too. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we wrap this up for 2021 and for this wait list?
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean,
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks to all the listeners. You know, our numbers were up immensely this year, which is, you know, great. And we definitely appreciate all the listens and everything like that people have done. You know, it's been always nice to see something steadily grow over the course of the years. And I think that for us, that's been, you know, a nice little treat to, you know, see it continue to grow, you know, a year after year. So thank you for all that.
Yeah, thank you to all the people that listen to this. And we kind of did our thing last week where we're like, thanks everybody and all that. But I think you guys know the general stuff here, where to email us, where to find us. I will say, like Damon said earlier, you can rate us on Spotify now. So please go, if you listen to us through Spotify, which we have quite a lot of listeners on Spotify. So if you're hearing this on Spotify right now, please rate us on here. You can't write a review, unfortunately. It's just a star rating. But if you would be willing to give us 5 stars, that would be great.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Trevor.
And yeah, you know, hopefully, you know, for everyone listening, you know, everyone have safe and happy holidays. You know, take some time with your family. Just relax and enjoy it, because I think we all deserve a break right now. And looking forward to seeing what this next year brings, and seeing what we're going to get up to on the podcast. I'm kind of excited for 2022, because we do have some stuff planned.
Yeah, we got our meetup coming up in May.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Exactly.
Man, I know I'm gonna be a little disappointed if I miss that. I'll be honest with you.
It's gonna be
hurt my feelings a little bit.
I hope you can come, Damon. I know.
Wait, when is it? May
something or other. That's a great plug right there. It's sometime in May. I think it's like this
May 13th and 14th, I believe is.
There you go.
Around there is what we were planning.
Yeah, doubtful, but maybe. How does that sound?
I'm okay with doubtful, but maybe. Yeah.
I still need a bigger meetup in Charlotte, man.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Or Raleigh. I mean, if it was Raleigh, that would be fine too.
Either way.
I'd even go to Hilton Head. If there was a Hilton Head set up, I'd be there.
Oh,
That's what we should have done. I hate to say it. We should have done Hilton Head. Would have been more fun. We could have played bocce ball and had tournaments for sweatshirts. I mean, I'm just saying.
We need to get like some of our listeners to just organize some of this stuff for us, because I feel like I look at some of the which one, like Geekin' on WDW. I feel like the listeners there organize quite a bit. We need to get our listeners to organize. If somebody organized a Hilton Head one, I'd be there. Nice. I would go too. I'd go to that too. I will never not go to Hilton Head. So
yeah, I agree. Poor Trevor though.
Well, yeah. So this is the thing is, I would love to. It's just, honestly, the amount of planning that I need to do and the cost just makes it really difficult right now. Right. So, I would love to do that at some point, but it won't
that's
be.
What we might have to do though, Trevor, is that you and Tom can do the Walt Disney one.
Yeah.
And me and Tom will do the Hilton Head one, and then there we go.
And conquer.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll do my wrap up here, my typical wrap up, right? So anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up?
Nope.
No.
All right, cool. Well, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, any podcast app out there. Just look for Welcome Home. Look for the one that says Disney and DVC. And of course, if you are on Spotify and listening, please rate us on there. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions expressed on our show are our own. So please consult a Disney cast member or DVC representative for more information we talked about anything we talked about today. Thank you to our sponsors. Again, we didn't sponsor this episode, but I just want to thank World of DVC for their support over the years. So please work with them if you need anything DVC related. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no